everybody, welcome back to the SubPar Poddy C, officially,
unofficially,
the best podcast on the internet. My name is Stumpy.
My name is Cole.
And
I can see my breath.
Can you see your breath? God, I can see your breaths. And we are going to be discussing all manner of things with Cole. We've just had Christmas.
We have. It's been a very lovely, very busy Christmas for me. My family are all dotted around the Suffolk area. Mm-hmm. My sister lives in a nice modern home with central heating and all the like. My parents, however, where we went on Boxing Day, they have a very old-fashioned, I think we've discussed it on stream before, a chocolate box cottage. So like a proper old-fashioned cottage with a thatched roof. It has a Rayburn to heat it, so it's all heated by putting logs in the Rayburn. So when it's working, it's really, really warm.
Is that like an Arga?
Yes, yeah, like an old-fashioned sort of Arga thing that just does everything. I like so the central heating, the hot water, everything is run via this Rayburn. And yeah, it was nice. It was hectic. Is how I would describe my Christmas. How about you, mate?
Yeah, so mine was alright. Before we sort of get into too much, I'm just going to mention that this podcast is obviously thanks to all of our lovely patrons. If you're listening on Spotify, where it is now available as well, holy shit! First of all, we're literally on Spotify. iTunes is awkward, by the way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Probably about 2 months ago. I haven't had an iPhone since the iPhone 4, I think it was. And they sent me an email about a month ago saying, it's been 4 years since you've logged into your Apple ID account. Do you want us to delete it? And I was like, I don't actually care, so yeah, go on, delete it. 2 months later, I then now need an Apple ID.
Oh no!
So I can submit it. Yeah. So I'm annoyed. So that means that now I need to make a new Apple ID. It got me stuck in like a login loop type thing.
Yeah.
So you log in, and then it takes you to a page, and then it hangs for a second, then it throws you back to the login screen. It was doing that, so it's an absolute nightmare. So iTunes, we will be on there. We're on SoundCloud, obviously. But yeah, Spotify, that's the new one, and that is mental. Cole, did you ever think that you would be on Spotify with your little ginger face?
Well, I thought I'd become a famous rapper, and if not, a famous singer. So, yes, to answer your question, but not talking to you. So, yeah, I'm surprised too. Going back to the iTunes thing, I'm not surprised about that. When before I left my job, I worked in a tech company, as we discussed on the first podcast back. But the reason I'm mentioning them, is that this is like a big piece of software. This is, $1 million plus sales, whatever, right?
Microsoft are huge, yeah.
It wasn't Microsoft. And when we were doing an update for iTunes, I made a little video, a little 30-second video showing what our software did with a voiceover, recorded by yours truly.
Mate, speak there. Get closer.
Is that better? Is it? Okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm done. I'm here now.
Go on, podcast, everybody, we're now in your ears.
Oh, coming in your ears, like Chorley FM. You get that reference?
Like Chorley FM.
Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere.
Is that the one with
Peter Kay?
Matey who does... Oh, no, I'm thinking of the guy who does
Paddy McGuinness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it not him?
Yeah, it is him. So their sort of fake sponsor was Chorley FM. So at the end of every part, it would say, Chorley FM, where the listener comes first. And it's sort of funny because ejaculation. But anyway, the point I was making about iTunes is that this big old company, we still could not figure out for fucking ages how to attach a video to an iTunes store
like a
object.
page.
Yeah, like you can have so when you have screenshots, you can also have a video, but we couldn't render it in the right thing. It kept saying it had been rendered in the wrong way, and we were looking up all their stipulations, and it was absolutely correct. We were basically doing everything they told us to, and it still wouldn't work. And the only thing we could think was to buy their shitty $800 software just to render this video that I'd already made, which obviously we didn't want to do, because even for a big company, they get big because they care about each $800. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, basically, point being, iTunes. Well, I've just pulled that. Do you know what I mean? It's a large amount of money.
10 grand to encode. That should be God's good, right, Cole.
Point is that iTunes is a massive bitch, and Spotify is where you should be listening to us.
Spotify is great. So it's really easy to actually get stuff on Spotify. If this was an ad spot, then I'd be happy. But we're not sponsored by Spotify, unfortunately. We still have no sponsors. Make sure you send this to your rich uncle.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's actually really easy. You basically, I just try everything I now put on SoundCloud is auto put on Spotify. How does that work? I don't know.
Oh, really?
It just does it? Yeah,
that is clever.
Incredible.
I didn't know that.
It's really
good. Is that
good.
a third-party website?
Yeah, so basically, like, a third-party website grabs it from SoundCloud and says, hey, up Spotify, do you want this? And Spotify's like, oh, yeah, give me that all data. And I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, here you go, fella. And then it gets it. It's an incredible world. So, yeah, yeah, good shit. Good shit. We're on Spotify. So if you would like to listen on Spotify instead of YouTube or SoundCloud, wherever the hecking fuck you are, the link will be in the description. Cool, so Christmas. Christmas. So was mine hectic? It was less so than normal, I think, because it's the first time that I've had Christmas where I've not woken up at my family's house on the day. So I woke up at my flat. No, I didn't actually. I woke up with Charlotte's parents.
Ooh. With her parents. With her parents.
We had a crazy Christmas Eve orgy. It was mad. There was brandy butter. Oh, man.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so what we did was, this year, I moved out at the end of April to my own flat with my girlfriend. And normally, obviously, I was in the family house. I've always lived with my mum and stepdad. And we just sort of chill out there. We wake up. We do, like, stocking presents and whatever. Do you still do stockings, by the way?
I wish. I'm too old. And
You're never too old for a stocking, pal.
Yeah, I am. They hate me.
No.
I'm lucky I'm not too old for a present at this rate.
Now, tell you what, no, this is the first year that my parents didn't do me a stocking because I did it on my flat with my shit girlfriend. So what we ended up doing was Christmas Eve. We did our Christmas on the Christmas Eve. So me and Charlotte, my lovely girlfriend, we gave each other presents. I think we just did the stocking presents on Christmas Eve. So we had like three groups of presents basically. So we made each other. Firstly, we had a very cute, like, I think it's like the 22nd or something. We made stockings for each other to then hang on the tree.
Ah, how'd you make those? Made them. Like you glued little bits on pre-made stockings, or
no? So it was a kit that we got from the Works.
Yes,
the craft shop store in the UK. Yeah. So we went there. I basically was like, yeah, let's just buy things. So we just bought some like make a stocking kit. I was like, oh, cool. So we bought that, and then we got home, and then, about a week later, we then made them, and I guess you sort of two bits of felt, and then you sort of, like, you get, like, a plastic needle, and, like, you stitch it through the plastic needle,
and
you make it, and you can, like, decorate it with, like, gold paint. It was good fun. So, yeah, so we then put some smaller presents in the stocking, and then Christmas Eve, we then opened them up, went to Charlotte's parents on Christmas Eve in the evening, chilled out, had food there, woke up there on Christmas Day. Coco...
Go on.
On Christmas Day, in the morning, never guess what I did. It's a controversial one, and I'm excited to hear opinions about this.
Had a drink before 10 a.m. or something?
I know, I always do that. I went to church.
Oh. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. Were you going there like Louis Theroux? You know in Peep Show when Mark... I don't know where he goes. He goes to some sort of like sex party or something, and it cuts to his mind in Peep Show, and he's just going, "I'm Louis Theroux. I'm Louis Theroux. I'm Louis Theroux." That's the only thing keeping him sane. Is that what you were doing there?
It did feel a bit documentary. So
yeah,
it's a like gorgeous church. Like it's at the bottom of the girlfriend's village, and it's like down a country lane in like the middle of a field. It overlooks like valleys and stuff. It is gorgeous. It looks really, really nice. And you go in there, cold as fuck, by the way. You go in there, and it was, I would say, I told Charlotte this as well. I'd say that I felt uncomfortable because I'm not about that. I never have been. My family aren't. Even my grandparents aren't really. And like normally that's like the ones that are like your grandparents, like the religious ones, whatever. And they're
my grandma likes to think she is. My grandma likes to think she is.
So yeah, I sort of. They were doing their like prayers and whatever. I was just sort of just like not saying anything, just sort of eyes open, literally looking around the church and whatever. Made eye contact with the guy on the organ at one point, and he gave me a look, and I gave him a look. He had a little smile, so that was fine. Yeah, it did feel a little bit Louis Theroux. So
yeah,
they were like doing. I'll tell you what the weirdest thing was. It's gonna sound harsh, but it felt a bit culty when. They said, okay, now we're going to do the Lord's Prayer. And that's the whole, like, Dear Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, blah, blah, blah.
Is that where you eat his blood and suck his tits?
No, that's communion. That's Catholic. Yeah,
that's the weird one.
Where you eat his ass and come on his
My grandma was saying
that
she was told that if you chew the bread, So they put the little bread in your tongue or whatever, and if you chew it rather than let it dissolve, she was saying that her pastors or sisters or whatever the fuck used to say that it would sort of like blood would just come out and you get all of Jesus's blood in your mouth, but not in like a nice whiny metaphorical way, in a literal way.
Just chew on bread and get smashed.
Yeah, so she was saying that like she was always scared to do that, thinking just don't chew, you don't want blood in your mouth. So that's nice.
That's it. Yeah, nice.
Horrible.
Religion based on fear. So it was very interesting because then they were like doing their thing of they'd all say the words, and obviously they know all the words. That's fine. But like I was sort of standing there, and they were doing it in a very
be thy
dear
name.
Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy
send
name.
Me to hell.
And I was just sort of standing there, sort of Louis Therouxing away. And
I'm Louis Theroux. I'm Louis Theroux.
I'm Louis Theroux. And yeah, it felt a bit weird. And obviously, I don't get it. I can understand the community aspect of it because holy shit, they had some mulled wine that is strong as fuck.
Is it really?
Was the strongest mulled wine? Like, because I went there last year and I just sort of like I sort of hummed along to the songs this time because I didn't really fancy it. And I had some of the mulled wine, so I don't think I was driving last year, so I could actually have a little bit more. And I was asking, I think it was the vicar who made it. And he goes, oh, it was like one of the older women. So I had a chat with her. I was like, what did you put in this? She goes, oh, it was like, she goes, oh dear, it's 4 bottles of mulled wine, half a bottle of rum, some vodka. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
It was great. It was so strong. But I had like a little sip and I was like, I'm driving later. I can't have this.
I'm surprised that absinthe hasn't found its way in church mulled wine, because absinthe traditionally has been associated with sort of when you see things, hallucinations. Absinthe has been associated with hallucinations. So I'm surprised that there isn't some tradition that you put in a boatload of absinthe just to sort of make sure everyone's as, just to sort of ease the cogs of people towards seeing God.
Well, isn't that what they do for their sex education? They preach absinthe.
Nice. So speaking of going to church and that,
go on. Yeah.
Move on. Move on, mate. You can't tell me what it deserves. I tell you what it deserves. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. And
the night before Christmas, I was at my grandma's house. Right. So Christmas Eve, it's just me and my grandma. Wrapped a few final presents and stuff. Just her and me chilling. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching Christmas TV, and she was starting to get a little bit moody. So we started off watching this game show that was like celebrities against genius kids, like proper genius kids, right?
Oh, well, like, are you smarter than a 5-year-old type thing?
It's like that, but it's a bit more British and, sort of like taking the piss out of the kids a little bit more. The kids are a bit older, they're about 10 or whatever. And first off, it was Jimmy Carr against some other kid, and he sort of made a couple of jokes about the kid, and the kid was like, oh, don't be mean. And Jimmy was like, you know what, I'm sorry, that was a bit mean. And it was all well and nice, lighthearted. And then the next one, it was this celebrity, I don't know who the hell it was, I never will, but some lady. And her shtick was that she was, kept saying to the kid, like, oh, do you know what, I'm gonna beat you this year, I'm better than you. She was doing that, she was doing like trash talk and stuff.
She was yeah.
My grandma did not like that at all. She was actively squirming every time this lady was trash talking. She was saying, oh, she's so mature. It's, oh, what's the point? It's Christmas. Let's be nicer to each other. Like, my grandma was really not liking it. So it's like, all right, Granny,
did you trash talk your grandma's, like, rapping, like, for a present? You go, God, Granny, you're rapping shit this year, isn't it? You're well better when you didn't have all your fucking shaky hands and Parkinson's slut.
Well, it's not Parkinson's. A lot of people think it is. It's actually alcoholism. She's going cold turkey, the family, even though she's veggie. It's tough. We were watching that, and then it was like, okay, Granny, let's change the channel. So we watched a bit of Celebrity University Challenge, which was good. I got one. I wonder if you'll get it. Okay.
Oh God. Do you remember the music from University Challenge? Okay, feels like I'm there. Okay, I'm in the zone. Yep.
Hello, it is I, Jeremy Paxman, and I'm going to quiz you, you Cambridge-educated sumbitch. So,
thank you, Jeremy.
The creator... Actually, let me get the exact name. Hold that thought. Just pause on the podcast for a second. Let me just...
Okay, holding thought.
Okay, right. So, I'm gonna try and get as close to the exact wording as I possibly can, okay? Bjorn Strustrup is responsible for creating...
I'm looking at my teammates. I'm fucked.
Is responsible for creating which coding language? Bjorn Strustrup is responsible for creating which coding language? And at this point, I've zoned out, right? And then he says, it's got 3 letters.
Oh, okay. Right, so there...
or 3, 3...
So there, immediately, so 3 characters.
Yeah, that's it, characters.
I'm thinking C++, because that's the only one I can think of that has got 3 characters in it.
Bjorn Strustrup is indeed responsible for designing C++. You got it. And my grandma looked at me like I was a genius.
Is that the only one that has 3 letters in it? Or 3
I believe so.
Characters?
It's the only one I knew.
Because the ones I was thinking of was Java, C,
Ruby,
Python, Ruby,
JavaScript. I don't know if that's a difference.
JavaScript. I think that's different to Java. I know that much. HTML.
Yep.
I mean, there's everybody on the internet is smarter than me at coding. So everyone is livid that I've not got all of them immediately. But I'll tell you what, we answered that. We answered that question. So
yeah, and that was the correct answer.
University challenge. You can go fuck yourself, Jeremy Paxman.
Jeremy,
arrogant prick.
Prick man.
Jeremy fucking Paxman.
So after that, and this is why I mention it. After University Challenge was over, I was just rapping away, just doing some freestyling. No, I was rapping presents in the background.
Grandma, you're a bitch. Yeah, C++ motherfucker.
Bjorn Strustrup. Yeah. I was rapping away in the corner.
Pull yourself up by your Strustrops.
And when the Strustrop. And then the TV took itself to a sort of a fly-on-the-wall documentary from St. Paul's Cathedral, following the choir boys as they practiced their choiring, and then sort of sung on choir day, the big Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I don't know which one the big one is. I think it's Christmas Eve. But these kids are like boarding school kids, basically. They basically go to school there, and they wake up and they practice singing. They've got incredible voices. Like their voices are just sublime. They're beautiful. But yeah, I can see what you mean about it being a little bit culty. But what I will say, all those kids were some of the fucking happiest kids I've ever seen.
Oh,
this main
I
kid,
imagine they love it.
It actively annoyed me how mature he was. He had all the mannerisms and maturity and patience. You know when you see a good old bloke down the pub who's 65 and he goes, "Oh, you're right there, bit cold out, innit?" That sort of comment that everyone can say it's a bit cold to anyone else, but he's chosen to say it just so he's got something to say to you. It's very polite. It's very
I get you.
It is a bit cold. Bob,
you know what, mate? You know what, Barry? It is a little bit nippy.
Yeah, yeah. And this kid was like that. So he goes to the cameraman. He was like, "Oh, it's a bit nippy." It was a little high pitched voice. "Oh, it's a bit nippy, isn't it? Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone will be coming out in coats today." And he was just the most weirdly mature 60-year-old I have. 14. How was he?
60. A little 60-year-old choir boy in sort of trying to worm his way in there like Mole Man from The Simpsons, just chilling out in the middle of his choir.
At the end of Christmas,
really high-pitched voice. "Oh," doing all that
and then
stuff.
He goes, "You wasted 14 years of my life and I want them back. No, I just waste them anyway.
I'm nervous on my GCSEs."
But he was having a great time, and he was sort of one of the little boy characters that we followed, and he was vying to be the opener. So their biggest achievement is basically each service or whatever it's called starts with one boy singing alone, and he's head boy. He's smashed it. He's bossed it, and he got it. Little Bob, little Terry smashed it. So I was really happy for him.
Bob Terry Sid. Oh, what a legend. Oh, good lad.
Yeah.
Yeah, little baby.
It was a nice show.
Sid.
It was nice. But I got what I'm saying is that I got the cult vibes, but I also got the sort of, it was certainly a very pro church show on BBC Two on Christmas Eve at 9 p.m.
Okay.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've never been about that, but I get it. I get the whole going there for the community, getting your tits off on your wine and whatever else. That's good. That's great. I think it's because I wasn't involved and I didn't know what was happening. But I was thinking at the same time, I sort of Louis through it and I thought, okay, when I've been at Insomnia and stuff, is this what a Charlotte has felt like? Because obviously we're all talking about all this gaming-y stuff. We're talking with all of the gaming's my church. Valve is my drug.
Rocket League is my abstinence.
You can't drink it. So yeah, I was thinking, is this what it's like if you're going to an Insomnia, a Comic-Con, a PAX, whatever, and you're not involved with it. And I imagine it would be to an extent. I think the average age would be a lot younger, but I get it. I think that's what I'm saying. Is before I didn't really, but I get it. I don't think I'll ever get into it because I can't really fathom it. But at the end of the day, if you're having a great time, who am I to say? You know,
I've thought this before.
Who am I, Cole?
I've thought this before, mate, where I think, what would make me believe in God? And I don't think that anything could. I think if I saw the clouds emerge and a beam of light fall down and a big titted angel come down and say,
why have they got big tits?
Oh, why wouldn't
Why
they?
can't it be a nice flat-chested angel?
It's on you to be the burden of... Mate, I'm presenting to you hypothetical. Stop getting in my grill, man.
Okay, yeah, big tits, I'm Louis Theroux. Okay, go on.
Monster-titted angel falls down and says,
angel,
Emil, I am the voice of God, and you must, I don't know, take off your shoes and throw them at his shop. Right, so they give me a task, okay? Doesn't matter how mundane. Doesn't matter how mundane.
What? But no, because at this point I think I'm having a hallucination.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I feel like the voice of God would tell me to do something other than throw my shoes at a shop.
I like that it's not even a particular shop. Sorry, God, any shop? Any shop or just...
Yes, any shop.
Will
any shop.
W.H. Smith
take
do?
your shoes off. No.
Not W.H. Smith.
W.H. Smith is the shop of the gods, as you all know. No one ever thinks I need a W.H. Smith, but we're always there. Ever wondered how we do it?
I bought these other shoes recently. They're in the box. Can I chuck these ones? I don't really fancy taking off
mine. Throw the brick instead.
What?
The brick. Do the brick.
I don't have a brick, but what I do have is a bottle of rum and a lighter and a cloth. I could fashion something from those.
Tear your shirt off and bomb a church!
But I wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? I'd assume that I was high or something.
Good on you,
someone
mate.
had slipped me a thing.
Like, I'm thinking, so what could convince me? I'm looking at things on my desk.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, so I'm looking at things on my desk that I've got, and I don't know why I was thinking of things on my desk that can convince me.
Which of these items can convince me? The tomato sauce?
Right, so I've got a massive packet of McVitie's dark chocolate digestives, and for some reason my first thought was, if somebody said, I'm the vessel of God, look, and what they do is they rub their hand over the digestive and all the chocolate's gone.
Then they rub it back and it returns.
Yeah, and it returns perfectly. I think at that point, I'd be like, yeah, fair play. Like, you can't do that. Now. What could convince... Because it's going to be a thing of, okay, they tell me, okay, go in the swimming pool. And for whatever reason, I'm just like, yeah, I'll do the swimming pool thing. I get in the swimming pool.
This is the angel we're talking about saying this.
This is the angel, yeah. And I've seen it come down from heaven or whatever. And it's come through the clouds and it's all fine. Say there you are. Say that I'm driving, so I know that my abilities aren't impaired, right?
Oh, okay.
And so I'm driving along, and I see a beam of light come down in front of me onto the road. To be honest, probably I'd just keep going. I've already hit the angel. But let's say for some reason I pull
tits
over.
Everywhere.
Tits everywhere. Splashed out across the concrete. And I park up, and an big titted angel, no, mine's flat chested. A nice flat chested angel comes down, and I say, all right, love. And she's like, yeah, not bad. I'm an angel. And I'm like, oh, really? She goes, yeah, right, let's go to this lake. I'm like, right, let's go. So I go in this lake. She's like, okay, go for a swim. So I'm like, okay. So I swim out, say, 10 meters. And then she follows the exact path I do, but she walks on it. Right? And I'm thinking, right, I then go like round her feet, and I'm splashing the water around her feet, right? And there's an angel standing there. I can physically grab her legs and whatever.
Okay.
And I try and pull her through, but I can't.
Why are you trying to drown the angel?
No, I'm not trying to drown. I'm trying to... But she's buoyant because of her massive tits. So she's fine. I think that would do a job. But even then, I don't... I think it'd take a lot to convince me. But I think that's what it should take. At the same time, I don't really
I know
care.
what will convince me.
I'm not bothered.
I know what will convince me. If angel comes down and I sort of sheepishly look around and then I notice that everyone else is sheepishly looking around and everyone 5 minutes later goes, holy shit, did you just see an angel? And everyone says yeah. Like, what I'm saying is if it was worldwide and it became accepted fact then I'd say, oh yeah, I wouldn't be the only denier. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be a hipster denier going, no, I know we all saw it, but I still don't believe it. I think they poisoned the water hole. You know, I'd be like, oh, do you know, at this point.
Why did you turn into Woody?
Well, because someone poisoned the water hole.
Oh, fair enough. Is there a snake in your boot?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, respect.
That's why I've got to throw them at a shop. So at this point, if everyone's involved, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll drink that Kool-Aid. I think it would have to be the general consensus is that it's real. And then part of me will always think maybe I'm, lying on a bed somewhere and this is all in my mind. But if it is, might as well give it a go.
What's the difference?
Because this is my reality. Exactly, yeah. This is my reality now.
I think, therefore I am. Carpe diem. All that stuff.
Yes. Or the seafood version, I think, therefore I clam. I sink, therefore I clam.
And carp, probably a bed of rice or something. So my thought is it'd take it a lot. At the same time, like I said, I'm not bothered. I'm sort of fine not. Like, I can do my thing. Everybody else does their thing. Sort of happy days. Just don't be a dick, End of the day, it's Christmas. And it's life. Don't be a dick. Like, if somebody doesn't believe that, or if somebody's gay or black or whatever, don't judge them. Just let them do their thing. You do your thing. Happy days.
Do you remember before this podcast, and I was like, I really like the podcast so far. I've got one request. Can we open with the Rocket League stuff and then go on to the bullshit, just so we can put it on RL Esports subreddit and maybe get some views?
Yeah, I remember that.
30 minutes
but
in.
Tell you what, mate. Yeah, but neither of us had the balls to change, so it's fine. Should we talk about WSOE, Cole?
Yeah, let's talk about that. I think it's time. I think it is time, because as of this morning, well, it was sort of leaked by Matey on Twitter about 3 weeks ago, saying, by the way, there's going to be a $100,000 Rocket League tournament. It
was in reply to Keemstar, wasn't it?
You should come along, Keemstar. And everyone was like, wait, what is that? So that was the sort of thing. And then today I go on Twitter, and Lawler has posted a Twitch clip, and he was saying, it's been announced. And I click on the Twitch clip, and it's not them talking to the camera and saying, we're delighted to announce WSOE Rocket League happening on January the 29th. It's the sort of the cutaway, sort of the Ariel equivalent, their interviewer lady. And she's sort of saying it like it's a fact. So she was saying, how we've had Hearthstone, we've also had League of Legends or whatever, and next up's Rocket League. And she's they put it under the radar a little bit. But it has been officially announced by them, which means that we can talk about it. WSOE is happening at the end of January.
So WSOE is the World Showdown of Esports. So they basically do... now it is 4 different events. It's Fortnite, Dota. Do you know the other one? I actually can't remember. Fortnite, Dota.
Not off the top of my head. No. There was the room with the fireplaces. Hearthstone, I think.
Hearthstone. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Hearthstone.
Okay, Fortnite, Hearthstone, Dota, and now Rocket League. So $100,000 going into that. They do $100,000 per esport. Going to be held in Las Vegas. And that's basically all we know about it. I mean, obviously, it was rumored before with that guy who is from ESP Gaming, which is just WSOE. It's World Showdown of Esports, just a different name for it. He was like one of the managers for something. He was saying to Keemstar, there's going to be a $100,000 Rocket League event in January. Do you want to come by to Vegas? And everyone's like, sorry, what the fuck? What is this? And he says nothing else about it. So I'm intrigued to see what the format is going to end up being. I presume it'll be like online qualifiers, sort of culminating in a sort of LAN event, very probably RLCS-esque. But having events like this means that maybe it's even more of a shift. After looking at, obviously, the DreamHack Pro Circuit, it's looking more to be a shift towards the sort of points system that I've sort of wanted since looking into other esports and how they do things.
Yeah, ever since we've done the daily download and looked at CSGO, we're like, those points are pretty damn sick. And it definitely seems to be the best way of doing things. It gives and of course the fighting game community are mad for it, like Street Fighter, the Capcom Cup. It's all about them pointies.
Earn 80 pence, but get 35,000 points towards your Capcom Cup.
What? So it does seem like a very good system. It gives everything weight. So even tournaments that maybe don't have the budget to put on a massive prize pool can at least provide points. The risk is that it means that tournaments feel they don't have to put in a prize pool because they have points. And I think that's what happens with Street Fighter. So it can go too far the other way. So Rocket League will have to be careful that it doesn't sell its soul to these points. But no, I think it's certainly a positive potential.
I think it could just be a case of you have a minimum, so you have to offer minimum $50,000 for you to offer any points.
Yeah, that's a good system. I like that.
Yeah, so just sort of like a minimum threshold, like the activation potential for the points system. That'd be cool, because I think it's good. It's nice. It means that smaller teams, they can break through and do other stuff. So like we saw before at DreamHack Leipzig, there were big upsets this year in January. And it was a case of some teams, they got the success through that tournament, and then that was it. They didn't go on to do anything else because there was no second step, or that didn't earn them anything past it. So
and you lose that momentum, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting way of doing it. And more events, ultimately, more lands is better. I mean, today is the 31st of December, 2018. This is the final day of 2018. And it looks like 2019 is going to be a huge year for Rocket League. Hopefully us as well, along for the ride, going to other countries. I mean, I was saying when I left my job to go full-time with all this shit in May or whenever it was, I was saying I'd love to be flown abroad somewhere, like to work abroad. It's like, it's that extra bit of commitment. Like, we've done obviously London and whatever, but that's like less than an hour and a half for both of us to get down there. So it's the case of, if somebody wants us abroad because they want us, that's a great thing that they... It's a really good compliment, I feel. And we've done we've been aboard 3 times now this year, and that's not the second half. So happy days.
Yeah, they sort of snowballed really. We got one, and then we got a couple more, which was lovely. The first one was actually an off-camera thing. Really, we went to an event, which wasn't broadcast anywhere, and then after that there was Vegas, and then the Thunderdome. We went to Vegas, so it was all exciting stuff. It was lovely.
That's good.
Yeah, I do hope that we're along for the ride, as we've said before on this podcast. But I think whether we are or not, Rocket League, I think that 2019, right, is going to be a transitional year for Rocket League. We've had up to 2018, it's been our little thing, right? Psyonix is saying, here's a tournament, there's a tournament, you got your occasional Gfinity Elite Series, but mostly it's whatever Psyonix says goes, okay? 2019, it seems that whatever's happened behind the scenes, I don't know if it's to do with these org skins happening or something. Something has changed, and Rocket League, I'm sure you'll agree, has suddenly started to be taken seriously outside of our community. I've no idea what has changed. Something has changed, right? I think 2019 is going to be the Wild West year. I think this is the year that every month someone says, ESL say, hey, let's chuck in a $250,000 tournament. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a bit messy, a bit scrappy. There's going to be people flying out all over the place. There's going to be conflicts. People going, no, you can't do it this time. I've already signed up for this thing. It's going to be shit, but also, holy fuck, it's going to be entertaining, right? And then I think in 2020... I think in 2020, we're going to go back to a bit more normal, and it's going to be more planned out, more well-organised. But I think this is the wild, wild west year. I think anything can happen in 2019.
Yeah, I'd go with that. I mean, obviously, we'd both love it too. I mean,
yes.
It seems like since the esports department at Psyonix has grown and they have employed more people, it has got to a point of some more internal discussions have led to external results where they can say, oh yeah, we want this to happen. And before, they'd say that and it'd get poo-pooed and it wouldn't ever end up actually happening. But now, it's a case of, you know what, actually, we love that idea. Let's put money into it. Let's push it. Let's go for it, because they can see how big these tournaments can get. I think Fortnite has shaken up a lot of the esports world in that people can see that you don't necessarily need the best esports game to have a decent esports event. Because I don't like battle royales as an esports event with 100 people, whatever, in a room playing. I think it's cool in theory, but I just don't think it works. And I think that the fact that it has been as successful as it is, I think that has shaken up other game companies into thinking, you know what, Fortnite, Epic have done it. Literally, why can't we? So hopefully 2019, like you say, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and the more stuff that can happen, it's going to be great. I'm very excited.
It is such an exciting time for it.
What were you
new hirings you mentioned? Say again?
What were you Googling? So was that relevant to...
Yeah, I was going to see Gillyweed's precise role within the esports team. I think it was
broadcast specialist.
Specialist? Yeah, I don't really know precisely what that means. There was also the new guy whose job it is... I was looking for his name. The guy whose job it is to communicate with people. But
yes,
the search.
That's who I was sort of referring to, but I couldn't remember what he was called, unfortunately.
Well, the way I tried to find out was going on to the Rocket League Esports subreddit, and then the search button says search Rocket League Esports.
Yeah.
I searched hire HIRE, and it searched the whole of Reddit. So it lied to me when it said search RL Esports. That's why I was struggling. But I was looking for that game because it seems that his role. I'm sure over the next few months we're gonna see a lot from this guy, so we will learn his name.
Yeah. LinkedIn has just fucked me, by the way. I've just tried to. I'm on LinkedIn trying to look at who's employed there. I need to make an account. I don't have a LinkedIn account. Psyonix, about what have they got on their web? I've never been on the Psyonix website.
You've never been on it?
Crazy. Nope, never.
Oh, it's all right. I remember looking at it before Rocket League came out.
It's art.
It's art there. Yay!
Photo.
If anybody listening to this podcast, right, do you reckon there's a Venn diagram of people listening to me say these words right now and people who haven't heard of Psyonix art? Do you reckon there's any?
I think everybody who's listening right now has heard of Psyonix art. I like to think there isn't, obviously. But I think there is, and that's quite exciting to me.
Yeah. Let us know if that's you in the comments.
Now, you're a big believer in your New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, I really am. I think that people poo-poo New Year's resolutions. They sort of look down upon them. If you say, if it's the end of December and you say in the new year, I'm going to lose weight, people will go, oh, why don't you do it now? It's like, well, you're not going to do it now because you come up to Christmas. New Year's is a great time after Christmas. You've had the festivities. Everyone slows down. Everyone puts on a bit of weight. Everyone starts 2019 and every year after it with a blank slate, okay? I think New Year's resolutions are amazing because, say I needed to lose 10 stone, right? Say I'm a big boy, yeah?
Yeah, the comments say you do.
If I started eating well now, tonight comes and I'm a bit hungry and I'll think, oh, do you know what? I ate a pizza yesterday. My brain, the logic doesn't actually make sense, but my brain will be telling me, oh, you ate a pizza yesterday. You can never be perfect. What's the point? And I'll eat the pizza. If you wait until the new year, I can start 2019.
You will never be perfect. What's the point? Fucking kill yourself, Cole.
No, that is a human way of seeing things. It's not perfect. What's the point? Don't give money to the homeless guy. You can't cure homelessness. That is a lapse in logic that the human brain does, right? The new year gives you a way to sort of bypass that because you think, I could eat that pizza, but I haven't eaten a pizza in 2019. I have, up to this point, had a perfect year. I can achieve that level of perfection. It is doable. It's achievable. So why not? And of course, some people will have that first pizza and then old habits will come back. But, fuck it. Some people don't have that first pizza, and some people will have it after a month, and after that month, they'll look better, and they'll think, I did have a pizza, but I can go back to being in health mode now because now I've felt how good being healthy can feel. I guess what I'm saying is that it's a great opportunity to start something, and I do believe in them a lot.
And my thought is I think they're good, but in theory it makes no sense, but also a lot of sense in that you are going by a completely arbitrary date to then change something about your life. But then at the same time, if you don't have that arbitrary date, when are you going to change it? And I think we always use weight loss or something as the thing. But if you're going to quit smoking, people will think, okay, right now, there is no reason why today is 31st December 2018. It's just because it is. Right now, it just is, and therefore it is. Everyone's just sort of agreed on that, apart from some places in China who are just like, no. But we're like, no. You know what? 31st December 2018. Yep, that's the time, right? That's the date right now. 11:04.
Apart from in Alabama, where it's 31st of December, 1918.
That's very fair, yeah. And I think it's a case of people say, why start it on this time? But firstly, it's a very easy metric to count from. If you say I have my last fag on 11:59 and it ends 30 seconds before midnight, cool. You can then count it. Literally the days and hours from that. You can count it the days and hours from midnight going into 2019. You can say, it's been, if it's the 18th of January, it's been 18 days. It's the easy thing of, okay, this is next lap. You've lapped the year. Cool. Get to this point and then move on. So, do you have any New Year's resolutions, Cole? What have you sort of got in your memory banks?
So I need to forge something a bit more specific. I just want to be generally better currently. I'm someone who has overall peaks and troughs in form, When one thing goes wrong, or if I have a bad day playing football, I tend to come home and have a bad stream. And then equally, if I'm playing well in football, my stream will be great. So like I do have form. So my general one is to try and, I guess, to not let one thing affect other things quite as much. But that's obviously very abstract.
It's
so I need to think of something
but
specific.
It's like
exactly
so ingrained into you that
yeah.
this has gone wrong. Oh, this is going to go wrong now. And it's like 24 years of that mentality as well, which is hard to 25. Sorry, of that mentality trying to like work your way out of it.
So let me give you a more specific one.
Okay.
I'm gonna unless I am in unless I've been drinking because we're at an event or something. I want to be going to the gym pretty much every day. Basically, I had a lot of free days last year. You know, in our job, we do have a lot of downtime. And why the fuck aren't I using that to go to the gym pretty much every day? So,
that's fair,
yeah, that's it. That's it. I know it should be even more concrete than that.
Well, you need to have time to also let your muscles recover. Like, I know sometimes it can be more effective to have like a 3 or 4 day gym week than do it 5 days because of having your time to like let certain muscles recover. Like, even if you're saying doing arms or whatever, you're still using like some shoulder stuff. And if you did shoulders the other day, then it's not giving the shoulders enough time to recover. So I think, have you like, so in terms of like workout stuff, I know you're sort of obviously more cardio. Are you looking into doing more strength things or?
No, just sticking with cardio really. Like, you know, my body fluctuates quite a lot. I eat badly for 2 weeks and I put on weight. I eat well for 2 weeks and, you know, it's noticeable. And I do like the way my body looks when it's smaller. I prefer myself to be nimble and speedy. You know, I take more pride. If people, you know how you might be chatting with someone and you might say, go on then, give me an arm wrestle. To me, that doesn't, I don't care if they beat me at an arm wrestle. However, if someone said, you know, oh, go on then, I'll give you a race, and I lost that would sting, that would hurt me, because I like to see myself as a speedy boy. So I'm definitely, I don't think I can not be a cardio boy.
See, I like being gargantuan.
Would you want to be gargantuan?
I think it depends on what gargantuan is. Like, I'd like to be a large, muscular man. Because people who don't know, I am just a touch over 6'6", 199 centimeters, 220 pounds in the red corner is Stumpy Goblin. And I think if I got, yeah, I'm fine with that because I beat the shit out of you at the finish line, mate.
Well, after the 100 meter,
after I'd be knackered, but I'd just be pummeling away. I think, I'd like to be. I'm not going to be the fastest because I'm not built for speed. Although my friend has said to me before, I'm actually not too slow, but I just get tired out quickly because I'm just not particularly fit. And my joints hurt because I'm old. And my knees
that's very fair. Like, your body is not designed. Yeah, that's fair.
But one of my friends was saying, I remember at uni, we all climbed a tree because you just do that. And then they all, like, I was like trying to climb higher, and I got higher, and then they'd all like jumped out and they like ran to the other side of the like field, and I was like, okay, so I jumped out and then I sprinted, and my friend said it was like being chased by a velociraptor. Because of the very long stride. Imagine when I'm up to full speed. Imagine my stride length. It's going boom, boom.
Are you a slow accelerator?
I'm a slow accelerator, but mate, when I'm like I'm an engine, right? I'm an old engine. So when I'm up to speed, holy shit, I am flying. But then
I wonder which one of us has got a top speed. So I'm quite nimble normally. Like I can pretty much go from 0 to full speed pretty quick. I think. I don't know. I haven't really raced in a long time. I think so. I think so. In theory, I can. I don't know about in practice. You know, it might be that I'm too old now and not actually in shape. But yeah, that's the theory. So I'm curious which one of us, if we just take top speed, I wonder who'll be better, because that'd be an interesting thing. It's great though, like in football, when you see a big old guy, when you see Lukaku and suddenly he's full sprint, and he's like, fucking hell! You know, it's like a steam train. Have you seen the GIF or video of a moose sprinting through like 6 foot high snow, and it just goes past them, and it's like the snow is not slowing him down at all, because he's a big fucking moose. Moose are scary, man. That's the point of this podcast. Moose are fucked up. Moose
are scary. I think I'd like to be. I want to go to the gym more, so I've put on weight. To be fair, I've lost weight actually. I've had to put a new notch in my belt, which is quite nice.
Congrats.
Because basically I had to buy. When was it? We were going to something in London, and the belt I had broke as I left my flat, and I had to catch my train. So I went via Officers Club that was closing down. They only had extra large belts. I was like, for fuck's sake. So I went and grabbed one. It's like £8 or whatever. Bought that, popped it on, and it wouldn't fit because it was so big. I was like, fuck's sake. So I was on the train, burrowing through it with a pen, right, to make a hole. And then when I got home,
I actually got a pen in my hand for that joke. That really made it easier for me.
It worked.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the end, I've put that notch in it. And then as of yesterday, my girlfriend's been saying that my jeans look looser. And I sort of like, when you do that thing, like you put your hand in it, like you can sort of move them out a little bit, like sort of a distance. It was like another sort of inch or so. And I was like, oh cool. So it's like falling down my bum a little bit. So I had to like then put another hole in my belt. And I've moved it along by like 1.5 inches, I reckon.
I was going to say, with regards to being a muscly boy, like that doesn't happen. You think, oh, that means I've lost strength. You think I'm more trim, right?
Yeah, it's just because I've got a bit of a belly. I think if it was somebody who was muscular, then they would be like, oh shit, I've lost weight. But I'm not at the moment. But I just need to get back into going to the gym, to be honest. I think I will in the new year, because then it's going to be like going into December and thinking of working out. I just can't be bothered, because it's a case of I've got Christmas coming up. It's cold. I don't want to walk to the gym or whatever. It's about a 5-minute walk, if that. But I can't be bothered to walk to the gym. But in the summer and stuff, it's lovely, that little walk, and I have a really good time.
It is nice.
But I think going into December, I'll just go down there. I'll do bits and bobs. I'm going to try and do a bit of cardio. I'm not going to do anything that's heavy on my joints, because I don't exaggerate when I say I've got shit knees. My kneecap got dislocated when I was packing for RLCS, if you follow me on Twitter. That was pretty horrible. I had to punch it back into place. Very manly. There's not really a pool near me. I was thinking of doing rowing, because then that also builds up strength, and it works on your back and your like shoulders and biceps a little bit. So I'd like to sort of work on that a little bit more. But otherwise, I just think if I was like a muscular man, I'd be a fucking unit.
Yeah,
I'd be like a fridge, mate, and I'd love that. I mean, I like the idea of being the gentle giant, of being a large person. But people say, God, have you seen Stumpy? He's fucking huge. And just like having that conversation go on, I'm like, yeah, cool, I am. You know what? I am fucking huge. Good shit. You know?
Well, do it, man. Get it done. 2019.
Get her done.
Lift. What I want you to do in 2019, mate, is to lift a weight.
Yeah, go on.
And then put it down.
Just 1 rep max?
And then lift the weight.
Christ, 2 rep max, okay.
And then put it down. Do that.
Okay, then
a lot of times.
Done.
That's my mission for you. A lot.
Easy, the dream.
Do a lot.
Yeah, I'll do some rowing
lifts
as well to like get rid of my sort of fat and whatever as well. But I've just been eating healthier. I'm not drinking. I go, before like we go to the pub and I get like a pint or whatever. I've stopped doing that for probably the last quarter of the year, maybe the third of the year, where I just don't drink beer, because obviously you get sort of like the beer belly, you get all like bloated and whatever, and it's full of sugar and stuff. Do. So instead, I just get like, I know it's not. It's better. I get like gin and tonics and whatever.
Yeah, me too.
Because tonic is gin and tonic is considerably healthier, because spirits are the healthiest way to drink, and in terms of like calories and stuff, and like fat content and sugars. And then you've also got like a nice bit of tonic, which is no lemonade. I don't have it with lemonade either. I'm trying to cut down on fizziness, so I sort of try and
the tonic is ultimately water as well. So that, in theory, this is Linnea's, my girlfriend's theory, that the tonic water is, that's why you don't get a hangover, because you are drinking water and it's always accumulating it itself.
Oh, you do definitely get a hangover with gin and tonic.
Oh, do you? I don't as much. Not compared. Honestly, just before Christmas, you and I did 2 daily download recordings, one day after the next, and we stayed in London that night. Yeah. I had 2 ciders. I had 2 ciders, and I felt it a little bit the next morning. Yeah, lovely place, lovely night. And I felt it a bit the next morning, more than if I have a fuck ton of gin and tonics. It's
really?
Like that haziness. I could have some water and I could fight through. It didn't affect my performance, Jinx. It didn't. I swear.
He's drinking on the job, Jinx. I'll take his.
No, that's why I lost every game, because my hands were shaking.
Oh, from the withdrawals, fair enough.
Exactly. But yeah, no, so certainly cider is, for me, so much worse at causing hangovers than gin and tonics and any other sort of spirit. So it seems that both of our New Year's...
cider anymore.
Me neither, really. It seems that both of our New Year's resolutions are based around health. Professionally, is there anything that you want to touch on? I've got one in mind if you don't, but we'll go with you first if you have got something.
I would like to... So this is more ambition more than resolution. My New Year's ambition is to work more with Psionics. And I'd love to do the Dream Hacks, obviously. They're like the next big and up-and-coming thing. I'm not going to be on RLCS anytime soon, so let's get in with the Dream Hacks. Firstly, they just look fun as fuck. I really do love the idea of going out there, being with the teams. I love because we don't get to see them much, and hang out with them. So in Vegas, we got to hang out with them a lot more than usual. We went. Did we discuss that? I don't remember. But anyway, we get to sort of hang out with the teams more. We obviously did a video with CJ, with Turbo, with Panda. It's lovely seeing them because they have become friends. And we get to see them before once a year when it was like the European RLCS. But apart from that, it was then a case of now we should be able to go to the North American ones as well. So I'd really enjoy doing more work with Psionics, hopefully at the DreamHack events, and see where that ends up taking us. Because I think that's a big audience that we can reach. And the Gfinity Elite Series, we described it before, it's in its own bubble. Where
it is a bubble, isn't it?
People are aware of it, they know it's there, but they don't necessarily tune in, or because it's a little bit out of the way. It's on Facebook, not Twitch, and it can be a little bit more awkward than thinking, oh, it's live on Twitch, I'll just whack that on. So I think it's a good chance for us to show off what we can do, and actually work with the North American guys, because hanging out with them in Vegas was fantastic. I love them all.
Lovely,
we went to the shopping mall and Caesar's Palace with them. And that was one of the most fun things, because I'd not hung out with them. It's the first time we met any of the RLRS guys.
And
apart
from Sax,
hanging out with them was fantastic. I loved it. Like coming back on the bus with them after the final day, we got on the bus and back with them. And I was at the front with, it was me, Achieves, Corelli, Stax, Jorby, and Gilly. I don't know if I said Gilly. But yeah, there's 5 of us. Right. And the bus driver put Sweet Caroline on. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. And we were at the front. Now, we were just at the front, just shouting it out. Everyone was loving life because RLCS just finished. We were going to the after party. It was one of my favourite memories and moments of RLCS was hanging out with them, because they are all such lovely, fantastic people, and to work with them would just be so good and show off what we can all do as a unit.
Just to sort of go back to that coach trip, it was literally about an hour after Cloud9 had won and Dignitas had lost, right? And was it you and me, and I think Yumi were the last 3 on that coach. So we were sort of thinking, should we not? Because we were sort of semi in and out, weren't we? We weren't fully in that world, but we were partly. We weren't completely gate crashing, so we weren't quite sure if we were able to. But at the end, we were like, fuck it, let's do it. So we went on, and we saw there were spaces, and we were like, yeah, go on then. And as I was going to sit down, you know when you see an empty seat and you sort of go towards it and think, yeah, I'll sit there.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit there, and poor old Turbo is on the window seat next to that empty one, and I didn't realise, and he is just sat at his head, and he's distraught, bless him, and he has every right to be, and I'm not taking the piss out of him at all, but he is completely distraught, and because I was all like, wait, RLCS, I sort of moved towards that chair, or that seat, half made eye contact with him, thought, oh god, he does not want to be next to anyone, and then I sort of, so my arm leant towards the chair in front of his, so I could put my hand on it and go to sit on that chair, and in the same movement, I kept my arm going onto the one behind, and thankfully there was an empty seat behind, so I sort of made sure that Turbo, didn't have to be sat next to anyone. I can't remember who I sat next to in the end, but Yumi was nearby, Farah was to our left, and Yumi and I had a great time getting out some of the chants that he and I had written, and we didn't get a chance to use. I honestly had as much fun on that coach as I did chanting in the crowd this year, because, like, honestly, we saw Farah. So Yumi and I stood up in front of everyone, and we were like, oh, Farah, and Farah just instantly goes, oh no, and we're like, whatever will be, will be. he's so good at Rocket League. And Farrah's like, oh, for God's sake. He's all like shy about it. Oh, Farrah.
I remember hearing you guys do that as we were at the front singing. And I was like, there's two distinctly different things going on here. It was quite a long bus, by the way. That was like one of the longest buses I've been on. Like, it wasn't even like a bendy bus. It was just a really long, normal bus.
Vegas, innit, baby? It's a Vegas bus.
And yeah, no, it was great. I would love to work with the North American guys. I loved hanging out with all of them. Some of them I didn't think I necessarily have as much in common with.
Yeah.
So there's some that like we've chatted to previously, some that I see on Twitter, and some I'm just sort of like, you know what, you're doing your thing, I'm doing mine. I don't think those sort of circles interact too much. They were some of the people that I had the best conversations with. And
can I say a name that I'm thinking
out
of when you say that and see if you agree?
Go on.
Subi,
yes, Subi. I wasn't thinking of him, but yeah. Subi, I didn't think I'd get on, because not that I had any preconceptions about him.
Yeah.
But it was a case of, I've spoken to Achieves before. I've spoken to Jorby a little bit. I said, because I adore Jorby's casting. It's so good.
It's good, isn't it?
Stax I've spoken to previously.
We stayed with him in a hotel, in our Airbnb.
We did, yeah. That was very nice.
Heard him snore.
Yeah, well, he loves to snore. And Subi, I didn't know much about him. And we got in there, and it's the first time we met them. And I think I went in for like a handshake or something, because it's like it's a professional thing to do. And he goes, nah, bring it in. And he like gives me a big hug. And he's like talking away. And we just like hung out loads throughout that weekend. There was one point where I wandered off during RLCS. I think I was like getting food, or I was like getting a bit of a headache, so I was wanting to go for a wander. And I got some food, went through to like a top bit, sat down. As I went to sit down, I saw that Subi was sitting there. I was like, oh, yeah, mate, is this seat free? He goes, yeah, of course it is, mate. So I sat down, and we just like chatted about RLCS and his ambitions and what he's done this year and how much he was adoring being there and our journeys up to that point. And I felt a really good connection with Subi. I had a really, really good time hanging out with him, and it was really good. I mean, I think I preferred the extra stuff on top of Land Vegas, and I preferred the inner stuff of London. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, I do completely agree. It was sort of like a networking trip, really. And I think the crowd was good. It did get better and better as it went along. There was sort of a clash of cultures at the start, but we learnt their ways. You know, we didn't try to invade, and I think it worked out. There was a good balance in the end, I think. Just one final thing I want to say about the RLCS crew is that the first day we went out with those guys, I met all of them. It was when we went to the shopping mall. That was the first time we'd actually sort of seen them, like, you know, in a professional capacity.
Should we see how short notice that was? Because I was DM'd about it. Do you remember?
Yeah, okay. You do that. You check. But what I was going to say was, so basically Stumpy and I were the last two on the bus, or this minibus. They were all on there, but the whole gang. Stumpy and I walk on, and we sit down, and it would have been so easy for them to have left us to eat, you know, left us to have a little chat in the corner, and to chat amongst themselves and stay in their cliques or whatever. But as soon as we got on, we were just felt welcomed. They were including us in conversations. They said, hey, it's Cole and Stumpy, and they were just wonderful. And I'm not very good at that situation. I'm sure you are, because this is what you're very good at. I'm not very good at going into a group. It is tough to be. I don't think many people are good at it, to be fair. I don't think I'm unique here, but it's very tough to be a single or duo going into a group of people that know each other. That can be a tricky thing, but they made it so easy for us.
Well, I mean, so the first DM was, I don't know why, I just sent a message to Wavepunk saying, hey man, where are you guys at? He said, I literally forgot you guys were here, lol. Thinking about going shopping soon, wanna come? He literally replied a minute later saying, yeah, do you just want to come shopping with us? And I was like, yeah, go on then. Yeah, I'll, where are you off to? Like, after Donham and Tree, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, I'm just going to some shopping area. Should be fun. And then he said, shuttle leaves in 8 minutes from the lobby. This is 6 minutes after I sent the first DM. We've had about 5 in between. Shuttle leaves in 8 minutes from the lobby. All caps, be there. So I replied saying all caps, on it. And then I messaged you saying,
you did.
Cole, lobby, 5 minutes. And you were like, okay. And then we got down there, and it was all the RLCS guys, because we're all staying in the same hotel. All the RLCS guys and our RS guys just standing there. We get over, and that's when we get introduced. We all have hugs. We get on the coach. It's like it's like a little minibus. And everyone's just chatting, and we're chanting about Shogun, missing obviously that he was there. That was very nice. Yeah. They're all exemplary people, and I'm very happy that we can call them friends after Land Vegas, and I just love to work with them more, to be honest.
Friends first, hopefully colleagues after that.
Yeah, maybe lovers at one point. Jorba, you've got my number.
I think we should start to wrap it up there, something. That's such a wholesome way to end it. You know, I think we can agree that 2018 was a wonderful year. 2019, professionally, I'm so desperate to grow SubPar. I want it to just be a massive, not necessarily massive community, but buzzing community, I think, is what I want.
That's fair.
Whether the size grows or not, I just want it to be actively hanging on every word, looking forward to the next big event. And we have start, you know, we try and put events forward, you know, 12-hour streams, podcasts, RLCSs, meetups. We do try and go from event to event. And I think I want to just continue to grow that momentum. But it has been a wonderful year. So to anybody listening to this, thank you for your involvement. Anyone who's, like I say, still listening at this point, you are part of it. Even if you tune into some streams and you lurk and you don't comment on Twitter, if you're hearing these words, you are part of what we've achieved. So thank you.
Touch your left cheek if you're hearing these words. I want to be on the tube at one point tomorrow or something, or whenever this is released. I want to be on the tube. I just want to look at somebody who's listening to something, and they just sort of look up and they look around and they just sort of touch their left cheek and they put their hand back down again. And I'm like, oh my God, they did it. They did the thing. Yeah, I think 2019 will be big. And thanks to everybody, obviously, who has listened and watched and asked us for to sign things or for pictures or any of that. It is fantastic. It is incredible that that's even a thing in our lives. So thank you. Shall we read out the lovely list of patrons who have made this possible? Thank you to our lovely patrons. That include Juan M.B.
Lance T.
Rymis 2.
Rainbow Noms.
Christopher C.
Callum C.
Adred.
Demon.
Mintiti.
Joshua G.
Fanlo.
Blonde Monkey.
Tube.
Andreas E.
Tagmata.
Gareth L.
Marion.
Timur H. Sorry about that pronunciation.
Hugh G. Rection.
That's funny. Noom Cyclers.
Ace's Oyster.
Boy Legend.
Nobody tell the president we can see all his tweets.
What a name. Shibadian.
Chris C.
Jack B.
Terry M.
Andrew L.
Dom 1.
Charles N.
Hayden S.
Leo G.
Andy B.
Dustin T.
Pat Me Butt. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All of you lovely patrons. Remember, you can listen on Spotify. All future episodes will be on Spotify, soon to be on iTunes, obviously on SoundCloud as well, and YouTube. Thank you, team. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for listening to the SubPar Poddy C, officially,
unofficially,
the best podcast on the internet. Adios, muchachos.
See you all in 2019.
Lol. Lol. Lol.